Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more of the meta. So I ran into an opponent that was running a particular formation. It was in one of those wing formations, shotgun wing formations, a halfback weak formation. And this guy had a scheme. Like, he knew what he was doing. He really leaned on some plays more than he really had to. But it wasn't something that he was super efficient with. But I did have some problems with it. And I was amazed on how he pretty much stayed pretty loyal to the scheme until he got in some binds and stuff like that. So I want to kind of show this to you on how he ran his scheme and some of the adjustments he made. Now, typically I run base defense. I use conservative. I want to make sure I go after the quarterback. And anytime I see heavy sets, I usually go into basically, the 61-43 defense, play cover 4 hard flats, and then I'm going to go ahead and user this defender right here because, tight ends don't have crazy speed. So I can usually go ahead and defend them if they do any kind of crossing. I think what this guy does is he immediately goes ahead and uses, I think, an RPO against me. So he uses an RPO, cuts my defenders out of position because I don't pass commit, and as a result he picks up an easy 9 yards right there. Then no huddles. So usually when you run into somebody that no huddles means that they know their formation pretty well. He goes to, it looks like a crossing route, and then he's got another crossing route and a clear out route and then an underneath route. And he gets me in a bind with the cover 4, and he just hits me right across the middle of the field with the crossing route. So didn't know where to go with it. That's why you want to know huddle, especially against an opponent if they don't really have a response. I quickly jumped into cover 3. I think I went with hard flats, get myself out of position. But he delays with his read. So that was the thing with this guy. He didn't make the fastest reads, and he got himself kind of in a bind. 2nd and 20 situation right here. Go back to cover 4, and I think I went ahead and played the sticks, and he doesn't really know where to go with the ball. He takes off this quarterback. Get him in a 3rd and 14 situation. Now he jumps into bunch X nasty out of the gun. And in this type of situation, I think I decided to go ahead and light this guy up with a blitz. So I'm in a double A gap, press everybody down, seams, and I'm just going to go ahead and just send some pressure to this guy. He rolls out his quarterback. My responsibility now, I know these guys are coming. The box is coming. I'm going to go ahead and come out and just play with the middle of the field and shade to this side because there could be somebody coming over the middle field. Pressure's coming in, so he's not going to have any time to react. And I think what I did is I did adjustment where I actually did drop off my edge defenders into hook zones just to try to take away any kind of fast read that he could throw. And you can see the crossing routes are all up. I think this is the guy that actually had open, but he didn't see it, and now he's scramble drilling it. Missed another route. He doesn't know where he's going with it, and he puts himself into a 4th and 14. So he's able to get rid of the ball, but that got ugly really quick. So I figured he didn't handle the pressure very well. This guy was struggling with pressure. Like he needs time for his routes to develop, so he wasn't really hitting things quick. So once again, I think I went ahead with the cover 2 zone right here, and I'm going to blitz the house. I've got a cover zone right here. I've got a cloud flat in this type of situation, and I just need to play the middle of the field, but he's not going to have any time because essentially I'm sending 7 people. And someone's coming in. So you can see the pressure comes in right away. That's why I like to have that set up with that invert, is that pressure will come in and there's going to be no time for them to do that. So up 7-0 against this guy. I had fairly good defense. It was pretty good. Now I go ahead and go back into kind of a generic defense, and he hits me with slants. He starts coming back to slants a lot. And he's successful in certain defenses, but for any kind of like a defense that where I was flooding people and stuff like that, he had a hard time. So when I went into the double A gap, that's when he had a hard time right here. I bunched the line off. I go into cover 4, and you can see he's actually taking his time right here, and he takes out this quarterback. So the decision making he's doing with slants, I know that basically he's done this before. This is not the first time that he's jumped into it. Now I go into the bear defense, and I just kind of send the house, but he actually picks everything up. And then he actually tries to throw the ball across the field, and I get away with one. That should have been caught. Really good read. So the guy knew slants like the back of his hand. So now I go ahead and jump into this invert defense just to say, hey, this pressure's coming in. You're going to have to get rid of the ball quick. And I don't pass commit, so he's able to go ahead and get rid of the ball to the running back. But if I would have pass commit, the pressure would have been, he probably got sacked again. So showed him the same thing, but this time I go ahead and pass commit on my adjustment. And you can see how this guy comes out. He actually makes a good move against my hard flat. So he's got, this guy's running a pretty solid defense right here. Probably would use cover 2 invert hard flats to make sure I have defenders down there. They're going to react a little bit better. Right here, pressure comes in. I actually go to his read, which is the tight end, just out of position slightly. But I like what's going on. Now I switch things up a little bit because he's pretty much having a field day, and I go into this cover 3 version of a match defense where the defensive ends actually fall back into coverage. And look at the matching. Matching is actually really good. For the most part, you could see this defender's out of position, but he actually comes down and plays that, gets out there. So if he throws the ball late, I have a chance to pick it off. But look at the matching right here. This guy's kind of sitting right here, sitting right here. So I got to play that little stick route. And he actually throws right next to a covered defender. He's got body positioning, so maybe he knows that. I don't know for sure, but that defense, this defense worked pretty well against slants for the most part. You can see how this defender actually comes down, plays it. Should have been hard flatted to get out there a little bit quicker. So he's using RPOs, he's using run plays, he's using slants. This guy's got a he kind of understands the scheme, what he's doing, and I'm having a hard time. I think this is where I jump into more of a bear front against this guy to make sure that he has a hard time with it. So now I go ahead and jump into, I think, a cover 2 shell. QB contain, because obviously there's a threat with a mobile quarterback. As they might run to the outside. Slide my line off to the strength of the formation. He does an RPO run right there, and fortunately for me, he's not able to get in and get him in a 3rd and 1 situation. Show him essentially the same type of look, but now I bunch up the line. And I think, do I QB contain? I think I definitely do, because I know he's going to do that. I push my line out a little bit, and he goes at slants, and I'm able to go ahead and get a coverage sack right there. So he goes for a field goal, and anytime I see a field goal down here where someone's pretty much guaranteed 3 points, I jump into basically defense for situations like this, where people decide to go do a fake field goal. In that type of situation, that's just a bad decision. He should have just stayed with his offense. If you're going to go for it down that close, there's no reason to do fake field goal. Fake field goals don't work unless you got an opponent that actually does it. So he should have basically timed it. You should have checked out of that. And I think what happens, he did go for it and then basically checked out of it and faked like he was not going to go for a field goal. So that was the whole situation that was with him. Right here, once again, he's going with a crossing route. This is a play that he probably should have went to a little bit more. Is that those crossing routes that he did in the second play of the game. Gets himself some pretty good position. Now I decided just to hit this guy with the blitz. So I decided to go with the odd blitz. I'm going to blitz everybody down in the box and just send a ton of people his way. And the reason I'm doing this is because it takes time to develop his routes. He's not making fast reads. He's not hitting flats. So I just go ahead and hit the pressure, and he's not getting rid of the ball quick. He's got so much stuff that's crossing over the middle. I can freeze him based on that. So going to cover 3 shell right here, and basically I'm just going to put everybody, put 8 people down in the box, let them know, hey, the box is coming. You're going to have to get rid of ball quick. And this guy didn't really make any adjustments. He wanted to try to press things over. You can see right here, he's just freezing with his throw. You would have been better off throwing to my user, because usually I don't get a lot of defenses with my user. So now he's in a 3rd and 10 situation. And I think what I chose to do is I chose to go with coverage against him in this 3rd and 10 situation. And the reason why is that he has no time left. It's the second half, and he needs to get the ball deep. So it doesn't make a difference if I have pressure or not. I just can't let this guy get the ball in the end zone. So that's why I'm doing cover 4. I'm going over the top coverage, pass committing, and I'm just saying, hey, I'm not going to let pressure go in, because I don't want to give this guy any kind of an opportunity to score on me or get some type of a glitchy play. I want to make sure I have defenders out there. So right here actually does throw to my defender, Mitchell, and I'm able to come down with a interception, basically taking any kind of opportunity for points off the board based on the clock management of that. So up 10-0 against this guy. Second half, he's still got an opportunity. I actually made a stupid mistake. I got stupid and basically put myself in a situation. He goes into a different set outside of that wing set. Does a little toss play off to the right. And you're able to go ahead and get that to a 3-yard gainer, which actually had really good leverage. Now he goes back to his bread and butter. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and show this guy the same type of blitz. He should have some type of route combination, maybe on Ohio concept or something like that, or maybe a flat with a slant off this backside. But this has got to be a threat where he can throw the outside against me. Right here, I got a bunch of people manned up. He's got some crossing routes, and he throws right into the defender right there. So once again, showing this guy, I'm going to blitz him. Now I jump into cover 2, and this is the best read he made, a best decision. Okay, I think he's still got slants going on with slants, but what he did is he streaked this guy up because I gave him a press look. And he actually just went ahead and lobbed the ball up. The defender released him. I've got a hard flat out here to take it with his flat route, but look at this guy right here. This guy's in a position. I don't click on, but I do get a deflection right there. So if I had clicked on, I probably would have caught that. But that was a pretty good read because he saw press and he's like, okay, I'm going to come down and actually go ahead and try to throw it up. And that actually turned into a situation where it was, kind of a 50-50 ball. So right here, show him the double A gap. Pressure comes in off the edge right there, and I'm able to go ahead and get him in a situation where he actually quits out. So once again, guys, I want to share this with you. This is just a mini scheme. There's obviously things that he probably could have done to be a little bit better, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea with some of the off-meta stuff I'm seeing online and what people are doing and how I'm stopping it. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.